Welcome to the Fluff, you sexy bitches, and welcome to an SCP reading. Yeah, we're back at it again. Wait a minute, rating. Wait a minute. Now, almost forgot the rating. I didn't forget the stopwatch though this time. Yeah, I almost have no battery though. That's a problem. Got myself some G Fuel here, and I'm gonna take a sip right now. Henry's in the background. He wants to keep safe from those SCPs. We got Smooth by Santana. That's a lot of dripping happening there. At least I felt dripping. Maybe I was just imagining it. Yes. Everybody on YouTube watching this later, how y'all doing? I should start trying to do like the simultaneous streams again, where like I stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. I think it's the one in Switzerland that doesn't work that way, sadly, but I should try again. It was definitely different, you know, bigger reach. But for now, we're getting into it. Wait a minute, did I? Or did I not? I don't care about. I don't want Bixby. It was like Bixby's voice. It's not. I don't care about Bixby. Here we go. Let's read the first one. It's called "Man with a Gun." Title of the next song fits pretty well. Reckless. That's what it is. But I assume the gun itself should be. Maybe it's like both of them are an SCP. Maybe they're both different SCPs that make one. But you know, any man with a gun is dangerous. Except this one's apparently safe. Pardon me, I guessed wrong. Oh yeah, let me see. I just realized I am not fully centered when I do the big. And if I do bigger, yeah, I mean, what can you do? There you go. There, yeah. Let's go read on. Safe. The building containing SCP-1270 has been purchased by the Foundation via a front company and is to be kept unoccupied. Except for purposes of monitoring and approved experimentation, all access to the building is forbidden. Security personnel engaging -1 are not to use flares or incendiary rounds. Deploying flares. Persona. If you guys know where that's from the voice alone, it's an old video, Minecraft related. If you guys know where that's from, props to you. Personnel whose clothing has been contaminated by -1's blood or other bodily fluids are not to return to the stairwell outside SCP-1270 until such time as on-site analysis has been either completed or aborted. Is my glass cleaner here? Yeah, my little glass rag. SCP-1270 is a phenomenon localized to the top floor of the three-story office building in the pardon me, redacted industrial park outside the city of redacted, whereby an intrusion onto the top floor triggers the manifestation somewhere on that floor of an entity, henceforth -1 resembling a male adult human armed with a shotgun. Oh. See document -4M for operational parameters of what is considered an intrusion. Probably anything that feels like with like hostility, right? I would assume that's what it is. But imagine like imagine you're going to this place, you just go into the top floor, the door is locked, so you just force it open because you really want to just spend your time there, because it's like it's an area you always spend your time at. When you like, it's like your secret area, but somebody locked it up this time. Somebody found out about it. So you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just break the door down. And then, you know, chill for a little bit. And then afterwards run away. Because, you know, there are people like that. We all know that people like that will just be like, oh, that's my place. And I just want to chill there. Let me just quickly click the door open. And next thing you know, you're up there chilling by yourself, and then you just, out of nowhere, you look to your right, and you just see like a Terminator lightning happening, and some guy with a shotgun just coming out of it. It's just like, you intruded. He's like, what? What? How? What? In the name of Jesus, how did you come here? It's like, doesn't matter. Upon manifesting, fiber optic micro cameras inserted via floor and rooftop boreholes have conclusively shown that Dash 1 does not exist in the absence of intruders. Dash 1 will attack intruders, firing at them and pursuing them through the rooms and corridors of the top floor until all intruders have either been killed, fatally injured, or driven out of Dash 1's territory. Consisting of a hallway, 5 office suites, and a washroom. See document -E-6 for detailed floor plan. That is a lot of space. That's a lot of space to be chased around in. Like, doesn't matter like how fast you are, right? Like, I would consider myself pretty fast. I'm just saying. I'm a runner, and I train myself in running, specifically long distance. But I'm also proud of my sprinting speed. That's still quite a lot of things you have to avoid, just to like not get hit by a shotgun blast. You know what I mean? Like that's quite a lot. If Dash 1 is killed, its cadaver instantly demanifests, and another instance of Dash 1 manifests elsewhere on the top floor. Dash 1 never leaves the boundaries of SCP-1270 on the top floor. If subsequent to being captured and disarmed, Dash 1 is carried across the threshold between the main hallway and the stairway. It instantly demanifests. And another instance of Dash 1 manifests elsewhere on the top floor. The manifestation of Dash 1 as a whole and subsequent manifestation also results in tissue or fabric samples from Dash 1 taken across the threshold into the stairwell or pass out of an open window. The minimum sample size necessary to trigger this effect is not known, but the effect has been observed to result from sub-milliliter amounts of blood splatter. Consequently, all forensic analysis of samples must be performed on-site. Dash 1's ammunition likewise manifests upon exiting the borders of SCP-1270, but does not trigger the manifestation of Dash 1 as a whole. Interesting. I assume he has unlimited bullets as well, right? Like, he doesn't show up with like a belt full of like bullets. He probably does like the cry treatment where like it's just automatically reloads. Or some magic ammunition that just appears out of nowhere. I assume. I could be wrong. Analysis of Dash 1 identifying characters has been inconclusive. Its facial features have been found to be those of Redacted, an inhabitant of Redacted, Utah, faced on record as a result of several arrests for vagrancy, public intoxication, and shoplifting. Its fingerprints have been found to be those of Redacted, an inhabitant of Redacted, Newfoundland, fingerprints on record as a result of several arrests for public intoxication and indecent exposure. Its DNA matches that of Redacted, currently serving a life sentence in New South Wales for various sexual offences, and its teeth display such advanced decay that the Foundation forensic dentists have stated that identification via dental records is not feasible. Its shotgun is a Mossberg 590, but with a serial number indicating a Mossberg 590A1. Any gunheads out there, tell me what the significance of that means, because I'm not interested in guns, never have been. I mean, I think fictional weapons are cool. Fictional guns are awesome. But in real life, I never looked at one. I never wanted to have one. I never wanted to be near one. But the fact that like it's supposed to be a shotgun Mossberg 590, but then the numbers indicating a 590A1, I don't know what the significance for that is. So if you want to explain to me any of this, I'll be very happy to listen. When interrogated post-capture, -1 responds with a constant stream of invective and profanity in various languages, including English, Cantonese, Arabic, Bengali, Portuguese, Hungarian, and Dutch. That's a lot of languages this guy can speak. God damn. Well, man with a gun, you... I'm surprised. I know why it's called safe. Because you have to trigger it. A lot of times, safe are things that you yourself have to either trigger, or the SCP itself is just not dangerous in general. But yeah, if you have to trigger it, then most of the time it's gonna be safe. Kickback field, Sheckler elementary. These titles are getting more and more obscure. Now that I think about this, like, not only is there 7,000 to 8,000 SCPs out there, there's also 7,000 to 8,000, actually more, now that I think about it, because those are the joke ones and then the ones that got taken away, titles for these SCPs. I'm surprised none of them, like, are the same. Very... I just looked down there and it just says 810 Kingsland accident. A friend of mine is complaining about that her work has changed her shift, so now she's gonna earn less money. Let me just answer her real quick. Let me just answer her that real quick. That's bullshit. Like, I assume she did okay with work, but I guess it was like, oh, we don't have enough in the day shift now because everybody wants to do night shift. Okay, Euclid. Fencing is to be constructed around the area containing SCP-1271 with a space of 75 meters between the fencing and... Let me just see something. Yeah, it's fine. Between the 75 meters between the fencing and SCP-1271. This perimeter is to be monitored by no fewer than 5 guards at any given time, who are all to deny all civilians access to SCP-1271. Guards are to be equipped with high-powered cameras with telephoto lenses and are to be trained in their use. SCP-1271 is to be monitored via video surveillance at all times. During a -A event, all guards are instructed to prevent the commencement of the 1271A event and detain all civilians involved, observe the 1271A event, and attempt to detain all civilians involved. Maintain a distance of 25 meters or greater from SCP-1271 during the event and make no attempt to interact with any civilians involved. During a -A event, guards are to take as many close-in photographs of the face of civilians using SCP-1271 as possible. Okay, so something happens to... I mean, it already is clear that the civilians are in danger by this SCP, but something seems to be happening to their faces specifically. The no fewer than 12 parabolic microphones with diameter of 17 meters are to be trained on the field at any given time. During -A events, microphones are to be focused on individual civilians, and all spoken dialogue is to be recorded to aid in identification of affected civilians. All audio and visual data for each civilian are to be compiled and cross-referenced against all available databases using facial recognition software. Under no circumstances are Foundation personnel to enter within 25 meters of SCP-1271 during a -A event. Under no circumstances any Foundation technology to be left within SCP-1271 except during authorized testing. All individuals identified as having participated in any -A event are to be detained at Site 34 and questioned. Okay. SCP-1271 is a square... What is down here? Going to go on storage. We can create some space. I see, yeah, okay, I need to do that afterwards. Oop! Accidentally shrank my screen down. Okay, it's So SCP-1271 is a square tract of land, huge tracts of land, approximately 20 meters on each side, roughly landscaped into a functional kickball field. Okay. We didn't had kickball in Switzerland. I only know it from the show Recess, which in German was called Disney's große Pause. Of course, saying Disney's große Pause wasn't. You didn't have to say Disney, but that's how the TV always was like, Disney's große Pause, kommt jetzt. And you're like, oh, okay. So it just means große Pause, which is recess. But directly translated would just be big break. So the field comprised a portion of the grounds of Sheckler Elementary School in... How the fuck do you say that? Katasakwa? PA? Before the school was... Before the school was closed in 1967, the grounds have been abandoned ever since. Approximately once per year, typically within 2 weeks of the summer solstice, SCP-1271 will become occupied. I hear somebody. Occupied by 16 civilians ranging from 5 to 11 years of age. The means by which these civilians, identified here as -1-16 travel to SCP-1271 is unknown. Civilians have been noted originating from every continent and 1274 countries. All affected civilians demonstrate symptoms of a trance state and are unwilling or unable to communicate with or acknowledge Foundation researchers in any way. Most children who are located, identified, and interviewed later claim to have no memory of the activities involving SCP-1271 and are unable to contribute to Foundation understanding of the mechanism underlying SCP-1271. So yeah. We now know this. It definitely focused on the children. I mean, I can only imagine, unless you're a teacher or a PE teacher, that you participate in kickball. But yeah. Upon arriving at the site of SCP-1271, civilians will begin carrying out a game of kickball according to accepted convention of game rules. But it does say civilians, which could. It doesn't say children. It just says civilians, so it could be an adult playing as well. These games are referred to as -A events. Civilians will divide themselves into 2 teams of 8 apiece and play 3 full innings. Throughout the game, the civilians will display body language indicating pleasure and enjoyment, including smiling faces, laughing, and ecstatic speech. But then the smiles become all extreme and they stretch out. The speech itself typically involves a syntax and vocabulary closely resembling the Unami language of the indigenous American Indian population of the region. Huh. I did not expect that. At the conclusion of the game, the players will bow in the direction of the pitcher's mound and conduct a brief chant in the Unami language before dispersing. The chant closely resembles the Unami phrase Sela ni eka kaweltali oh my god okakich ni sa avenik, which translates to over there under the trees 2 people were buried. That is not the thing I want to hear after the enemy team won a kickball sport. It's like yeah, we won. By the way, over there some people were buried. Yeah. It's like what? Whoa. What? Why are you coming with that information? Are you just saying that? Is that something you just say, or is that the truth? It's like no. That's the truth, clearly. How do you know? Well, I'm the one who buried them. And you all shall join them. As the affected civilians reach the perimeter of SCP-1271, they disappear from the area via an unknown form of teleportation. Oh. A little bit. It's dangerous. I always want to say kickboxing, but it's kickball, so it's something. It both has kick and B in it. That's the only similarity. 2 additional anomalous effects have been noted with regards to SCP-1271. First, when individuals not summoned to SCP-1271 entered First, when individuals not summoned to SCP-1271 enter to within 25 meters of the field during -A events, these individuals will begin participating in the game. there's a certain radius where they're like, oh, I need to join. This participation will divide evenly between the two teams, either substituting for exhausted players or carrying out work such as supplying water and towels, or towels to players. At the conclusion of the game, individuals affected in this way disappear in the same manner as affected civilians. No affected Foundation personnel have yet been recovered. The second anomalous effect associated with SB1271 is documented in -1. Document patterns of affected civilians. Since the Foundation began monitoring SB1271 in 1972, 480 civilian children from around the world have been affected by SB1271. Efforts to determine the identities of affected civilians began shortly thereafter and was aided. Why am I yawning? Was aided by the digitization and computerization of Foundation records and databases during the 1980s. Through the use of facial recognition software, the Foundation has been able to identify. There's something happening in my throat, it seems. God damn. This position. What is happening? It's uncomfortable. This participation will divide evenly between the two teams, either substituting for exhausted players or carrying out work such as supplying water or towel to players. At the conclusion of the game, individuals affected in this way disappear in the same manner as affected civilians. No affected Foundation personnel have yet been recovered. The second anomalous effect associated with SB1271 is a document in Addendum -1. Document patterns of affected civilians. Since the Foundation began monitoring SB1271 in 1972, 480 civilian children from around the world have been affected by SB1271. Efforts to determine the identities of affected civilians began shortly thereafter and was aided by the digitization and computerization of Foundation records and databases during the 1980s. I just want to double check something now that I think about it. No, we should be good. Okay. 1980s. Through the use of facial recognition software, the Foundation has been able to identify 126 of the civilians affected to date. During standard correlation analysis of the identified civilians, certain patterns were detected relating specifically to the position played by affected civilians. For purposes of this analysis, the team that begins this game on the offense is designated red, while the team beginning the game on defense is designated blue. To date, only 10% of recovered civilians have any memory of their experiences with SB1271. There's an addendum. Oh boy. And then there's interviews as well. So here for designation, these must be all the different, yeah, okay, -1. Red team first baseman, first kicker. I think it would help if I knew the rules of kickball. But I always assumed kickball was like baseball but with kicking. Okay, red team first baseman, first kicker develops and pursues an interest in banking, leading to an executive level position at a major international banking firm. 30 total instances, 9 identified, and 7 having given trade. Also, like these. Okay, I see. Position 2 red. I'm just gonna say position, and then whatever numbers of position 2 red team, second baseman, second kicker. That's before age 18, 30 total instances, 11 identified, 11 having given trade. Ooh, that's so. Oh, if you red team second baseman, second kicker, your life is sealed. Especially if you're like 17, like you have like a month left before 18, you'll be gone. Position 3, red team, third baseman, third kicker, pursues interest in education, becomes a college level economics professor, 30 total instances, 7 identified, 7 having given trade. Position 4, red team roller, fourth kicker, not baseman, but roller this time. None have yet been identified. Position 5, red team utility, outfield, fifth kicker, develops interest in aeronautics, takes a high-ranking job in American, Russian, or Chinese space development agencies, 30 total instances, 10 identified, 9 having given trade. Position 6, red team left outfield sixth kicker. Becomes trusted advisor to an individual in a position of authority over an international body of some kind. List of specific individuals in qualifying bodies, including in document 9 dash beta. 30 total instances. Wait, what happened to my where's my where did my I am confuzzled. It vanished. Why? Oh, because I accidentally minimized it. Yeah. Sorry about that. There we go. Just taking my gloves off. Where were we? Position 7. Red team center outfield 7th kicker. Died at age 23. 30 total instances. My toe is itchy. 7 identifying. 6 having given trade. Position 8. Red team right outfield 8th kicker. Becomes famous individual odds, particularly acting. 30 total instances, 9 identified, 9 having given trade. Position 9, blue team, first baseman, first kicker, develops an interest in chemistry. Identified instances typically take up work in pharmacology. Several instances personally responsible for the development of breakthroughs, drugs for a variety of illnesses. 30 total instances, 15 identified, 14 having given trade. Position 10, blue team second baseman, second kicker, takes up a career in politics, becomes a head of state or higher ranking politician in the nation of origin. 30 total instances, 11 identified, 11 having given trade. Position 11, blue team third baseman, third kicker, becomes addicted to barbiturates before age 25, dies before age 27. Barbiturates, okay. 30 total instances, 10 identified, 9 having given trade. Weird itch happening around my body right now. Position 12, blue team roller, 4th kicker, none have been identified. Position 13, blue team left outfield 5th kicker, gains a position of leadership. No pattern has yet been determined. Beyond this, roles can vary from corporate chairman to factory foreman, but will involve high levels of authority. 30 total instances, 9 identified, 9 having given trade. Position 14, blue team center outfield 6th kicker, develops interest in religion, becomes an authoritative figure in religious movement. Religions involved may vary and typically are global in each. However, 2 identified instances have led cults involving data expunged. 30 total instances. Gonna sit more in a different way because of the itch of my toe. That's just happened now for some reason. 30 total instances, 11 identified, 11 having given trade. Position 15, blue team right outfield 7th kicker, develops interest in electronic technology, becomes known as an innovative engineer, pioneering in telecom or internet technology. 30 total instances, 6 identified, 4 having given trade. Position 16, blue team utility outfield 8th kicker, none has been identified. Okay, interview logs. Let's go with the -11 gamma. Interview log -15 -11 gamma. -11 gamma served as third baseman for the blue team. Third baseman, that's like yeah, so the barbiturates thing. Okay. In an -A event that transpired in 1981, his image was identified using photo recognition aging software in 1994. In a color the song that just played. I want to jizz on you. Right as I read this interview, I want to jizz on you, yeah. I was like, in Asian software in 1994, in a color grade catalog from the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Given his connection to SB1271, the individual was detained for questioning and held for observation for several years. Dr. Hicks, have you consumed illegal narcotics? Never. Before that whatever it was that happened when I was a kid, we lived in a good neighborhood. My mom told me about drugs, told me not to try them. This was back in the late 70s, you know. The stuff was everywhere. But she raised me right, and it wasn't always easy. Could you elaborate? Well, like I said, that was how she raised me. That was how things were back in the day. But things got bad around the time I was, I think 12 or so. Subject 11 Gamma was 11 years of age when event A 1981 transpired. So now when he became 12, he's like, oh god, barbiturates. Delicious. Yeah, I don't know. My dad, he was the real straight-laced guy, right? Factory worker out at the Goodyear plant. Amazing guy, hard worker. And then one day it seems like the cops showed up. The drug arrest, correct? Yeah, phenobarbital. It was fine one day, he was in jail the next. They didn't have any evidence to hold him, so he got out and he was such a fucking prick after that. I swear to God. Behavior changes. Yeah, he and my mom both. They were so in love before, and then suddenly it was... Jesus, it was a nightmare. He was hitting me, he was hitting her, she wouldn't leave, she loved him, he was doing drugs, and she was doing drugs. I swear to God, it got so bad. He wanted me to start doing drugs. So it would calm me down. Said it would keep me from thinking I was better than him. Tried to make me take them. That was when I left. Ran away. I tried. I tried to the guidance counselor. It was like she wasn't even there. Teachers too, I just booked it, left town. I got out of there, went a few towns over, got into a foster program. It sucked exactly as much as you think. But I just stayed in the books, you know, kept my head down. And avoided drugs. It was hard, everyone was into it around me, tried to push it on me. All that shit you get in there, the peer pressure, violence, everything. All the way into college, it seems like everyone around me got into it, either right before or right after I met them. And they all wanted to share. It got worse. See what I got. I graduated a few months ago. I was glad to get away from that. I understand. So you want to do some drugs, bro? Imagine like the fucking SCP doctor's like, it's just like, okay, yes. So you were avoiding drugs. Okay, your parents were doing that. Okay, fair enough. This concludes our interview. Anyway, want to do some drugs? It's like no! I finally escaped. And you come back. You bring it all back again. How dare you do that? So yeah, I imagine that. Approximately 3 days before 11 Gamma 25th birthday, Dr. Hicks assaulted him and forcibly injected. Oh my god, he fucking did! He was. And forcibly injected phenobarbital into his system. No orders to do so had been given. 11 Gamma developed an addiction and was terminated, attempting to assault a nurse 4 months later. Dr. Hicks claimed temporary insanity. Medical tests revealed a small brain tumor has developed, impairing his judgment. Wow, I was just kidding, man! I was just joshing around, and you actually did it. Not only did he do it, he did it in a way I would not expect. Like what? Why would you do that, my friend? I know why he did. Something compelled him to. So, but I literally was just kidding around. That he was like, that he would like try to like make him take drugs, but no, he didn't try to make him. He made him take it. Into log 21, 14 Epsilon. Subject 14 Epsilon was in charge of the largest cult of a cult known as the Brotherhood of the Rubicon in Johannesburg, South Africa. Subject was captured. So wait a minute, this one was 11, which was, and this is 14. Develops interest in religion. Oh yeah, religion belief. Okay. But so I was wondering. I was like, oh, so wait, does it just make you play a round of kickball, and then you just have this like role that you just, because like I was not sure if like the roles were like before they joined or after. No, it's after, and it looks like the entire world around them will try to make them follow that role. So yeah, it's interesting. Subject was captured in confrontation raid against a safe house and was identified as an outfield in a -A event in 1989. Dr. Graves, okay. How did you come to join the Brotherhood? I was not born to greatness. Greatness found me. God found me in the back of a field and spoke lies to me. I see truth now. I speak truth now. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't. You think you know what that field is? God spoke lies to me. God lies to us all. God fears us because we have a new Lord. He will lead us to his throne. You think you know what that field is? I was not born to greatness. Are you suggesting that SB1271 compelled or changed you in some way? God is the least of what lives in that field. Those things choose you and send you into the world. God spoke lies to me. The things that field chose us, trained us, shaped us. We are what they make us. You think you know what that field is? He? This guy is nuts. Absolute. You think I have a Glock in my head, don't you? They call me crazy, insane, Wendell. I wonder how many people will understand that reference. You believe your fate was destined? They speak lies to us until the lies can become truth. The field showed me the Rubicon. The Rubicon will help me kill God. Did the field tell you to kill God? Did it tell you how? God lives in that field. God is the least of what lives in that field. I speak truth now. Subject 14 episode was deemed an unreliable witness to the untreatable paranoid schizophrenia and was terminated. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of obvious. Okay, 13 was gains position of leadership. Yes, okay. Oh my god, look at all these ends. All this red tiles popping up. Subject 13 Theta. Cheese. Yeah. Served as a blue team left outfield in the first recorded -A event in 1972. Subject was a member of Redacted. When facial identification. Now it also makes sense why they need to take pictures of the people's faces, because then they can recognize them in the world. When facial identification algorithms identified him in 2011. So 40 years have passed there. 39 years to be more exact, but yeah. Due to this position, several red alerts were triggered in Foundation computers and Subject 13 Theta was detained. Subject 13 Theta claimed to have no knowledge of his involvement with SB1271. Interview heavily redacted to prevent disclosure of sensitive information. Now, do you have any recollection of your involvement with SB1271? Fucking of course not, Graves. I told you that yesterday. Do you think I would have accepted the job at Redacted if I thought I'd been recruited in a kickball game when I was 11? Give me a little more credit than that. Of course not. However, several influential academics, politicians, and scientists have been identified as being involved with SB1271, almost always without their prior knowledge. And I know you also identified a high priest of the Church of the Broken God, a mid-level executive with Marshall Call and Dark Limited, and 2 Serpentine cell leaders among affected personnel. I used to get these reports, so the other Redacted decided one of us wasn't in on it too. You believe this is a conspiracy led by other members of Redacted? It's not a conspiracy when the good guys do it, Graves. It's a plan. They consider me expendable, and so I was expended. Security can say they did the job. We all go home happy. Unless there's really some brainwashed freak high in Redacted, who is liable to snap and take us all out. Several minutes of conversation with Redacted due to the involvement of sensitive containment information. How would you respond to the following phrase? Dr. Graves recites the Nami chant and marks the end of each -A event. I would say you don't know what. Sir, are you with us? Begins mumbling in the Nami language, falls unconscious. Imagine. Wait, I'm gonna read this finish. I'm gonna read this finish. I'm gonna finish reading this. Subject 13 Theta demanded the medical weighing for treatment. While medical care, subject escaped containment using his knowledge of Site 34's authorization code to leave the premises. Subject has not yet been recaptured. Nami phrase uttered before unconsciousness translated to, but the children footprints are numerous. But can you imagine? I mean, he probably doesn't. This 05 probably will never or whoever, it might not be an O5, it might just be one of the doctors. They will never see the fact that like they were part of the SCP experiments by accident, right? Oh, can you imagine like minutes upon minutes? They start talking, like saying bullshit, like, "Oh, it's a conspiracy, it's a plan. They want to kick me. They want to kick me out of the team. I'm expendable." And then the other guy's just like, "What do you feel about this phrase?" And then the guy's like, "Huh? You think you got?" Slow motion catastrophe. That does sound like something like it's just like a zone where like a lot of crashes happen and just in slow mo. Go be. Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Let me do that again because I forgot to do the lap. Here we go. Slow motion catastrophe. Slow mo. It does sound like an area where like accidents just prone to happen, and it's all in slow motion. SCP-1272 constituent artifacts are to be maintained at a range of no closer than 41 meters and no more distant than 74 kilometers. Wait a minute, I actually now think about it, I got a message here. Let me just quickly read this. Okay, we're good. Okay, back to it. And no more than distance. No two artifacts with collective W-axis deviations of greater than 38 degrees are to approach within 8 kilometers of any other topological anomaly due to the continuing risk of containment breach. All objects are to be affixed to the pedestal with permanent restraints upon successful containment due to risks presently posed by -6. Active containment efforts are presently suspended. Revised containment procedures are pending. After breach of containment protocols on the 3rd, 27th, 1973, -1, 2, 3, and 4 remain uncontained. Until such a time as containment is re-established, one containment team is to enter the anomaly every 4 months. Attempt to reach the containment vault door and attempt to contact previous containment teams to advise them to deviate from pre-2003 containment protocols. Before approaching the topological singularity, agents assigned to the containment team must undergo psychological pre-screening. Pre-screening containment agents should be advised that a present topological density successful containment is expected to be completed on March 18, 2394, 423 years from initial entry. Present suicidal ideation is non-disqualifying at agent request. Foundation survivors' benefit are to be paid to the designated beneficiary immediately upon entry into the containment area. At all times, the topological anomaly is to be monitored via closed-circuit television by a designated Foundation exit counselor. Garments appropriate to all areas of team entry are to be maintained on site. Upon scheduled or unscheduled team exit, the brief is mandatory. The brief subject matter should be restricted to those matters necessary to assess psychological suitability to return to duty and technical aspect of the anomaly. Inappropriate topics for the brief includes surviving family members of any classified information unrelated to the Site-53 anomaly and Foundation matters outside the scope of the team's historical clearance level. Counselors should expect readjustment shock. Class C amnestics are to be made available upon request. Okay, -1, 2, 3, and 4 are 4 identical statues apparently sculpted by Corsican neoclassical revivalist Emile Abruzzo in the early to mid 1950s. Early photographs of the statues depict a child between the age of 11 and 14 wearing. Did I just hear my phone go off or? Nope. Wearing unremarkable early Renaissance garb and carrying a cloth bag. Since that time, the statues have exhibited worsening topological anomalies and at the time of containment breach were unrecognizable as their original subjects. By 1961, while in the Foundation custody, the statues W axis deviation stabilized at 7, 13, 19, and 23 degrees respectively, though unknown at the time, permitting objects with some W deviations of greater than 38 degrees to approach within 41 meters of a topological anomaly, results in a topological evolution which rapidly evolves toward non-gravitational singularity. On March 27, 1973, this occurred, resulting in a containment breach and -5. -5 is a non-gravitational singularity which resulted from mishandling of 1, 2, 3, and 4 at present. -5 involves maintenance corridor 2A of side 53. The topological anomaly containment vault and sealed portions of 2 control rooms abutting the corridor. Involvement of a spatial dimensions is minimal, resulting in a 19-degree twist and 31-degree leftward deflection of maintenance corridor 2A. Involvement of time-like dimensions is extreme in much of the affected corridor subject time. The objective time is estimated to pass at a rate of 184 nanoseconds per external hour. The ratio of external to internal time at the anomaly percent is presently unknown. -6 is a human male, age 27 to 35, first detected by CCTV slightly beyond the -1's containment vault door on the 12th 17th, 2003. Appearance is inconsistent with agents or researchers known to be working at Site 53 at the time of initial containment breach. However, due to the uniform dark blue coloration of features and clothing, resolving facial details has remained persistently difficult for observation staff. Since first detected, -6 has traveled 4 meters into the anomaly-affected hallway without apparent detection by containment teams. Proceeding toward the vault on high-speed video gate is consistent with a brisk walk. Per Dr. Collins, researchers should note that the subject coloration appears to be the result of blue shift, not natural coloration. Presuming a logarithmic decrease in the rate of subjective time and approach of the singularity, -6 is presently exiting the vault of 41% of the speed of light. That's okay. If -6 fails to decelerate, or if containment team dispatched before detection successfully relying -1, 2, 3, or 4, exit is predicted to occur on or before, resulting in massive thermal damage to Site 53 and surrounding populated areas. Alright. I'm not sure, did I? I don't think I did. I didn't copy paste the text. Let me just do that. Oops. There we go. Stuck. Well, we know what happens in porn once you're stuck. Especially if you're a step bro. Oh hey, I recognize her on Twitch. Do 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 do. Save. Euclid. SCP-1273 is to be kept in containment locker 434 at Site 23 when not being actively used for testing with D-Class personnel. SCP-1273 is not to be connected to any electrical power source except for testing purposes. SCP-1273-A is to be treated as a non-hostile but potentially dangerous entity. How long is this one? Just the interview to make it look long. -A remains indefinitely in testing chamber 741 and is to be monitored at all times. Is it indefinitely there because it's stuck? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I'm just asking the right questions. Personnel are forbidden from entering the chamber until further notice. No testing of anomalous objects is to take place in test hull data as of the 5th 11th 2014, and in the event of a containment breach, the hallway should be completely sealed off. SB1273 is a brand children nightlight. That's not what I expected, but I guess that could also get stuck if you think about it. That would suck though. Imagine if that's stuck and it just sucks up energy, so you have to just energy bills just go up the roof. No materials comprising the structure of the object have been identified as individually anomalous. The object has been designated to resemble a stylus rabbit and functions as a non-anomalous nightlight for the first 30 minutes of being connected to a working power source and turned on. At this point, SB1273's anomalous effect will activate, and an entity hereby designated -A will manifest in the area containing SB1273. If the object is turned off or disconnected from the power source during the manifestation of its anomalous properties, the entity will then manifest until the next activation event. -A appears to be a Caucasian female humanoid entity of approximate teenage appearance. The entity refers to itself as Abigail Lawrence, a citizen of the town of where SB1273 was initially discovered. Foundation investigation confirms that an individual bearing the same name and description of the entity formerly lived in the town, but was reported dead as of the 3rd 9th 2014. The aforementioned person's parents has discovered the deceased child in the room on the aforementioned date, along with SCP-1273 and several other anomalous objects whose functions appear to be reducted. The entity is visually indistinguishable from a non-anomalous human subject. However, it is unable to make physical contact with anything that is not a boundary of the room currently housing SCP-1273. All other objects cannot be manipulated by the object. And there's a footnote saying, see Incident Report 1273-MU. As such, -A cannot leave the room it manifests in. There's a second Nightlight SCP, if I recall correctly. There's one in the early hundreds that was also like a Nightlight, but you didn't want to activate. I don't think you want to activate it because it would just create some sort of creature that would kill the child, I think. I might be wrong. It was such a long time. That was like one of the really early ones. Upon manifestation, the subject typically appears to be distressed and attempts to remove SB-1273 from its power source due to the entity intangible nature. These actions are consistently futile. So yeah, it's just you cannot touch it. It's just your hand phases through, and I wish whatever is in my eye would just phase through my body and just leave because it's annoying me. The following interview was taken upon initial manifestation of SB-1273's anomalous effects by the presiding head researcher Dr. Lloyd. So, interview is -A. Interview is Dr. Lloyd. Is the first recorded appearance of -A. Hello, my name is Dr. Jason Lloyd. I'm going to ask you a few questions now, if you don't mind. Too quiet to be understood. I'm sorry. What was that? Turns to look at Dr. Lloyd. Subject appears distressed. Can I go back? Go back where? Aside, note that the subject appears to be distressed. I was never supposed to come back here. Subject begins to attempt to remove SB-1273 from its power source. The entity appears to be intangible, as it does not appear to be able to physically interact with the object. Please, calm down. We can help you, but you have to help us first. Hold out his hand as a gesture of peace. Shakes head. Please don't touch me. You can't help me. I don't need help. Just please let me go back. Go back where? Subject continues to attempt to remove SB-1273 from its power source. Away. The place I was before. It was so much better than this. Just please unplug this thing. -A. I'm going to need more information from you before we can release you. Subject ceases attempts to remove SB-1273 from its power source. And then I can go back? Yes. Then you can go back. Okay, my name was Abigail Lawrence. I was 16 years old, and my eye is... After this, I'm going to quickly dash to the bathroom to see what's up. I'm from... I don't really remember how I got into the light, but I know it's my home. Was. Well, as you can see, I'm not exactly... And he waves his hand through SB1273. I see. Are you completely positive you can't remember anything at all about how you got to be this way? Looks away from Dr. Lloyd. I'm sorry, I really can't. I see. If you do remember anything, please don't hesitate to tell us. Now, what's your home like? It's amazing and bright and freeing and... Oh, please let me go back just for a bit. I can't stand it here any longer. Dr. Lloyd conversed with research team for approximately 3 minutes. Alright, Dashay, you can go for now. We'll see you soon enough. Dr. Lloyd proceeded to turn off the object and remove it from its power source, causing Dash-A to demanifest. So, wasn't this Euclid? Well, it was considered safe, but it became Euclid. So before, they probably was like, okay, it seems to like bring spirits or maybe some sort of things to our place. In the moment you plugged the light in, it's just brought a past spirit, maybe, and that's what it was like the safe option, because like because you had to activate the trigger, but something is causing it to be Euclid. Let's see what it is. Let's see what the cause for it to become Euclid is. Dash-A, Dr. Lloyd. The following interview takes place 1 week after the events comprising interview log alpha marked the second activation of SB1273's anomalous state by the Foundation. So soon? Hello, Dash-A. Do you recall any more details on the event that led you to exist in your current status? I'm afraid not, Doctor. I see. Well, can you tell me more about the place you came from? I'm afraid that's not allowed. Not allowed? Who isn't allowing this? Everett's eyes towards the ground. Please, put me back. Abby, please answer the question. Subject does not respond. Abby remained unresponsive to the remainder of the interview. Following half an hour of unresponsiveness, Dr. Lloyd powered SB1273 down and unplugged it. Okay, so there's some thing or somebody doing this and restricting information. Research log 1273 Kappa. The following is a series of excerpt notes taken from Dr. Lloyd's experimentation notebook. All except notes from all excerpts from notes taken during a series of interviews with Dash-A. Will not tell us any more about this place. It's quite obvious she's lying about not remembering the process, but why is she hiding it? Researcher covers and things. We realize that we can encourage the information out of it by refusing to let it go back until it tells us. The plane the entity it comes from is apparently devoid of all physical matter completely. The entity is being slightly more cooperative, but is apparently trying to deliberately impede Foundation understanding of this area. Agent appear to be slowly earning Dash-A's trust. Head researchers are to confer about how to possibly use this in conjunction with punishment in the future. Incident report MU1. I assume that this incident report is the reason why it became Euclid. On the 5th 11, 2014, I'm pretty sure it also said that on top. Doing routine testing of SB1273's responsiveness to alternate power sources, the optic light bulb burned out. Specifically, the effectiveness of circuits powered by alkaline batteries. However, unlike a typical deactivation event, the actually did not manifest. The entity noticed this, became panicked, and started attempting to remove SB1273 from its power source. Personnel proceeded to accomplish this task, which did not cause the entity to demanifest. Dash-A violently approached by Agent and attempt to assault her while shouting at the subject. Dash-A had previously proven to be intangible. Agent did not make any attempt to defend herself. Wait. So Dash-A violently approached. An attempt to assault her while shouting at the subject. I see. The entity was known to say, "It is your fault," repeatedly. Instead of passing through the agent as we expected, the entity appendages appear to become trapped in the subject's physical body. Oh no. Oh no. This caused further distress of -A, who vocalized more loudly and struggled to remove itself from agent form. As the entity made increasing contact with the agent's body, -A appeared to be absorbed into it. After approximately 3 minutes, the entity was fully absorbed into agent's body. The agent appears to have died during this process. On-site personnel report a lack of respiration and pulse from and tentatively declared her to be dead. Soon after, the chamber was cleared of all personnel and objects, save for the corpse of the subject, in order to monitor any possible anomalies resulting from this event. And we have the next incident report, the MU2. After approximately 3 hours of observation, -A emerged from the corpse. The entity was noticeably panicked at this time and began attempting to strike the walls and doors of the chamber while shouting. The entity was noted to say several phrases repeatedly, notably, "Let me out and don't make me choose between these two prisons." These actions persisted for approximately 45 minutes, at which point -A moved to the center of the room and assumed a fetal position. The entity did not move from this position for 4 hours. It then stood up and approached the corpse. -A was noted to be hesitant during the following action. SB-1273 entered the corpse and attempted to partially inanimate it, resulting in erratic movements. The object flung itself at the door of the testing chamber repeatedly for approximately 60 minutes before -A emerged, returned to its position in the center of the room, and began crying. The entity is to be continually monitored until further notice. Audio logs take the following excerpts or segments of audio taken from the testing chamber, housing -A during Foundation monitoring. "I didn't mean to kill her. You don't understand how it feels to be trapped. You don't understand the feeling of being restricted because you never known being free. Please let me out. I can show you. I just want to go home." That's dark. And another moment where the Foundation is technically torturing something technically, instead of just being happy with the results they already got and be like, okay, that's all we need to know. Let's leave it at that. Yeah. Let me just check what this is. Oh, when did you like this? Well, if Beth is here, hi Beth. If she's not here, then oh well. She liked the image. Okay. Gotta get back to the stopwatch. There we go. Okay. Dance craze. These are pretty short, I gotta say. So, I mean, the second one was the longest one, I believe. And after this, we're at the halfway point. And I still haven't checked about my eye, but that's fine. I'll survive. Euclid again. Oh, Euclid. There was one save, but it was then changed to Euclid. So, technically, 4 Euclids, 1 save. So, I guess the only time it's considered Euclid with the previous one, though, was when it couldn't, everything went to shit. But that you could argue that was the Foundation's fault, so it should still be considered safe. Also, is she just stuck there now? Are they just not willing to help her get back? Oh well. News media and internet video sites are to be scanned continuously for any of the keywords found in Addendum -1. Internet videos should be suppressed as far as is possible through copyright takedowns requests from Sound Content Productions, a Foundation Front corporation. These are to include key phrases which will bring them to the attention of agents placed within the hosting organization. News reports indicating outbreaks of SB-1274 or its territory effects should be investigated in the guise of a quarantine action intended to prevent the spread of an aggressive form of viral meningitis? Is that how you say it? Oh yeah, let me I need to ask her something. Any instances of -A discovered in the course of an investigation are to be contained in individual windowless cells. Mills and standard hygiene facilities are to be provided. Any entertainment media without music may be offered up upon request, at the discretion of the lead researchers. Interviews with -A instances are to be performed with physical restraints in place to prevent movement of the subject's arms and legs. Experimental treatments for territory effects of SB1274 may be administered with approval from the lead researchers and the ethics committee. SB1274 is a proprioceptive mimetic hazard in the form of a novel style of dance. It shows influences from various Caribbean dance styles in the American urban form known as crumping. The dance is done in groups in a follow-the-leader fashion, with one dancer performing a series of moves which are then emulated by the other participants. The style is improvisational in some respects, but has a core repertoire of distinct movements which appear repeatedly. A specific sequence of these movements appear to be the contagious agent. SCP-1274 is safe to observe live or via recordings. Transmissions only occur when the key sequence of movements is performed by a subject. Hereafter known as -A, shortly after infection, subjects experience powerful euphoria and increased empathy with other dancers. Additionally, instances of -1 display the following cognitive changes: increased sexual receptiveness, greatly increased suggestibility, preference for consensus-based conflict resolution, reduced need for sleep varies by individual, but some instances have shown no adverse effects from 2 hours of sleep nightly, a marked preference for the color orange. Tertiary neurological effects begin to appear within 2 to 6 weeks of initial exposure, with speed of onset strongly correlated with the frequency of SB1274 performance. These include chronic sleep onset insomnia, progressive abnormal involuntary movement disorder similar to Huntington chorea but including movements from SB1274's repertoire, language pathologies initially presenting as intermittent schizophasia and progressing into total aphasia combined with random utterances similar to glossolalia. Pharmaceutical interventions and physical therapies which have proven effective in the management of Huntington disease appear to have little effect on the progression of neurological symptoms. Amnestic drug therapy has shown some efficiency in eliminating the mimetic component of SCP-1274, but appears ineffective once neurological symptoms have manifested. I just realized I need to post something I completely forgot to post. I might do that after this. SCP-1274 was first discovered in Redacted, a medium-sized American city with significant minority population of Dominican descent. However, no evidence of contagion has been found in the Dominican Republic itself. Reports of anomalous neurological disorder among young people in the city club's culture, their foundation agents to the discovery of the hazard. Instances of -1 were contained in a raid on a warehouse party, followed by additional instances scattered as part of a subsequent public health action. Since then, additional outbreaks have occurred primarily in cities of population 300,000 or less in the southeastern United States. Additionally, 3 instances of instructional video for the dance have been found on popular internet video sites. While these have been successfully removed by the Foundation action, the number of exposed individuals is unknown. Footloose! That's all I could think of, to be honest. Okay, let me really quickly post the thing I wanted to post. I completely forgot about it. I have to check so many different things now. But yeah, let me just... Real fast. Here we go. Yeah. Just gotta find it. I'm the boss. Come on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I just gotta wait for it to load and then we can send it off. In the meantime, let me just check what's happening here. Okay. And I think yeah, we're good. Let me just, there's a lot of things happening on my phone now. Okay. All right, let's go. Oh, my fucking stop watching. Silent Bandit. Ooh, this is a. No, it's not that long. It just feels. It just looks long. It's just multiple paragraphs. We have our first guitar. Leave it on mashed potatoes. Man, this is the day where I didn't know how iTunes worked, so I downloaded the safety torch song from YouTube itself. That's why there's like the old like YouTube, like remember how back in the days YouTubers would like have like so many different screens so you can click on and it would lead you to the next video. That's basically what the sound is at the end there. And I just explained that as if you guys can hear it. Never mind. At the end of the Safety Torch song that was playing down below me, it was because it's directly downloaded from YouTube. It has like the old school YouTube, like when you add like the annotations and all that stuff, where you can click on the screen and be like, it will lead you. It still does that, of course, nowadays, but it's different. So yeah. Let's go on. SB1275 is held at Containment Area 43, located in the Gobi Desert. It is to be contained inside a hollow 750mm tungsten cube filled with an electrified tungsten wire lattice divided the space into cubic millimeter section. The remaining space is to be continually filled from the bottom of the box, which is maintained at 1200 degrees Celsius. The primary uncontainment chamber is to be blast rated for pressure up to 200 kPa, with a secondary external chamber rated for up to 1500 kPa. 3 blast shielded monitoring stations positioned equidistant around the perimeter from the station at 12 kilometers are to be kept staffed and on alert at all times. SB1275 is to be constantly monitored via sonar, video feed in the experimental Salzman device. Any notable changes in object size or behaviors to be immediately reported to the head researchers and security department to prepare to resist any potential hostile forces. Entities are objects that may emerge from within SB1275. In the case of a full containment breach, perimeter is to be established and a 30-kilometer radius is to be monitored via motion sensor and sonar speed recontainment. Task forces assigned to recontainment of SB1275 are to be approached with the greatest caution and to take defensive measures at any sign of an emergence. Under no circumstances may personnel approach within 30 meters of SCP-1275. If it is a loose, recontainment will be accomplished via specialized capture netting delivered by air. Personnel in the process of being enveloped by SCP-1275 should be terminated if possible, unless otherwise authorized by level 4 personnel. SB1275 is a fluid, amorphous entity of variable column, shape, color, and opacity. Observed volumes of materials composing the entity have ranged from... What does that even mean? Like this symbol in this, like what does that even mean? It's not greater as, it's not equal to, it's not smaller than, it's... But yeah, 1 centimeter cubed minimum to a maximum of 30 meter cubed. It is affected by gravity and cannot pass through solid material, yet resists no weight or instruments regardless of its current size. Parts separated from the main body appear to flow extra-dimensionally back to it, making samples tests unfeasible. It is not chemically reactive, shows no change with variation in temperature. It is not electrically conductive and returns no tactile sensation. Due to these properties, SB1275 is theorized not to exist fully within the material world. The entity is capable of forming itself into any shape, including flattening to 0.1 millimeter thickness minimum observed, spooling into a threaded form, or taking on the shape, color, and opacity of objects around it. If free, it attempts to envelop objects such as classified documents, SB artifacts, or Foundation personnel. Upon enveloping an object, it will turn opaque and rapidly decrease in size, while the object enveloped will disappear from the inside. On occasion, it will attempt to disgorge explosive weaponry and anomalous objects and hostile agents in order to breach its containment. Observed behavior patterns indicate it to be intelligent and or controlled by an outside intelligence. Oh. It has proven capable of breaching all but the most stringent of security measures, pressing its way through minor flaws in seals thought to be air and or watertight, moving through air ducts and electrical systems under carpet or tile, or flowing slowly through loose materials such as dirt or sand. It attempts to avoid observation by blending in with its surrounding and remaining motionless. If noticed, it will move quickly and attempt to envelop personnel before they can raise an alarm. This thing is just an expert escape artist. Objects and personnel enveloped Objects and personnel enveloped were originally believed to be consumed, digested, and converted into energy. However, its capacity for flowing back to itself when separated and the emergence of subject suggests that it may have a second section elsewhere in the world that it moves portions of itself between. This would account for its fluctuation in volume and disappearance of objects from within it. If this is the case, then the entity appears unable to pull the portion of itself held by the Foundation through to the other side. It's theorized that either this is the primary half or that it naturally has a divided existence. Attempts to intentionally send equipment back through SB1275 have failed. Objects the entity does not wish to transport remain, even if forcibly inserted. Evidence strongly suggests that the entity itself with or is controlled by a hostile organization, that they are attempting to retrieve it. Due to the potential for theft of SCP artifacts and personnel, this is to be prevented by any means necessary. Recover log SCP-1275, 8/15, 2003. Still frame analysis systems at Site 36, monitoring camera feeds outside SB-140. Okay, which one's that again? Oops. 140 was an incomplete chronicle. I looked at this before. And an ancient civilization called the Divides, especially blood, more information. Oh yeah. Because it's liquid. Ooh. Well, is it liquid? Yeah, it's a fluid amorphous, and yeah, it is liquid. Shit. Containment chamber found irregularities between frames and proceeded to initiate a lockdown of the area. Upon close examination, a small fluid object appeared to be attempting to enter SB-1240's containment cell. A security team was dispatched to investigate, resulting in the loss of all 3 members. Containment attempts resulted in the loss of further 7 security personnel and 2 agents before it could be brought under control. Upon further investigation and analysis of incidents at other Foundation sites, it was found that SB-1275 attempts to infiltrate facilities, locate objects or personnel of value. The Foundation enveloped them and cause them to disappear. it was proven to be responsible for the previously unexplained loss of SCP, 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 and SCP. It is suspected in the disappearance, theft of 17 other objects and entities from 10 different facilities over a span of 18 years, and the known loss of 49 personnel to date. To date, too little data has been recovered to establish a definite link to any specific group. Research attempts are to be targeted at establishing a direct connection to an organization for the attempted retrieval of lost artifacts and personnel. Incident log 1275. 8th, 15th, 2003, the entity repeatedly attempted to breach containment for a period of 8 months using its abilities while with varying levels of success, causing loss of personnel and equipment. Initially, a containment procedures were developed at this time. After this, it went inactive and remained inert. Yeah, kind of like Shy Guy. You cannot really contain it. It seems like if it wants to get out, it can. It will find some way. The only way I can see you containing it is by literally making a welded cube around it. 8/27/2004, the entity began rapidly scorching high-energy explosives in all directions, causing serious damage to the facility through, though apparently none to itself. It renewed its attempt at containment breach, all of which were prevented. After containment was re-established, SB-1275 was moved to a new facility and put into a reinforced containment cell. 10/10/2004. Explosives were disgorged in rapid succession, followed by visual surveillance equipment, transmitters, and anomalous objects now classified as SCP and SCP, which were harmful to the containment cell walls and personnel on site. Internal breach efforts by SCP-1275 resulted in the loss of 21 personnel before containment could be fully re-established. 10/12/2004, an unknown hostile retrieval team was intercepted attempting to reach SCP-1275 location, while escaped without casualties. Containment site was moved again, and further countermeasures were put into play. 3/2/2005, hostile agents armed with anomalous weaponry emerged from within SCP-1275 and rapidly attempted to set up base of operation within the containment cell. An attack was initiated against Foundation personnel. Containment of SCP-1275 was breached shortly thereafter. Mobile task forces were seen to engage and recover the object. After a prolonged engagement, the enemy agents retreated into SCP-1275. 5/29/2005, containment was established at the present location with the current procedures. The mesh grid has prevented SCP-1275 from producing objects large enough to be capable of breaching its containment. The lead and electric current have prevented transmitters from signaling its location, destroyed the majority of objects that have been sent through before they could fulfill their intended purposes. The possible emergence of anomalous objects capable of breaching containment cannot be ignored. Plans to deal with various scenarios are being devised by staff on site. Damn. This orb be causing... That's why it's called the Silent Bandit, because it just steals things and then uses it for its own good. That makes sense. Venusian launch pod. What is happening now? Somebody just... Come on. I can check afterwards. Oh, this is very short. Safe. SB-1276 is contained on site with a full research... How much? Oh, only an hour and a half. We're only almost about at the last 3 after this. is contained on site with full research and security staff under the guise of a government-sanctioned archaeological dig team. All unauthorized individuals attempting to approach the area must be detained and questioned, then administered amnestics or terminated at the discretion of site security staff. All personnel must clear the upper platform at least 1 hour prior to activation events and remain clear for at least 30 minutes following confirmed activation. Activation experiments may only be performed with Class D test subject and only with prior approval from at least 2 Level 4 senior research staff. SB-1276 is a step pyramid of presumed mine construction 31 meters in height, 68 meters in width, and approximately 2,700 years old, located in the remote area of the redacted river basin in redacted. The structure is heavily engraved and believed to have been dedicated to astronomy and astrology. The anomalous property of SB-1276 is centered at a platform at the top of the structure, on which lies a 3.1 meter square metallic plate of unknown composition. Unlike the rest of the structure, its platform shows no sign of aging. It is heavily engraved with ancient Mayan hieroglyphics, as well as what is believed to be mythological figures along the outside perimeter, along with human figures prostrated before them. Whenever the heliacal rising of the planet Venus occurs, the platform at the top SB-1276 is momentarily suffused with a blue glow, after which all living human subjects standing on the platform are instantly accelerated upwards into an atmospheric through unknown means to the speed of approximately 0.01 c at the exact moment that Venus appears to be above the horizon. Aliens. Ground and satellite-based observatories have tracked and confirmed that all such subjects are launched in the direction of Venus and bearing outside intervention will enter its atmosphere within a period of 3 to 24 hours after launch, depending on the distance between the Earth and Venus. It is not known at this time how subjects appear to not be affected by atmospheric heating when leaving the Earth's atmosphere. Even so, it is presumed that all unprotected test subjects have expired due to either the sudden acceleration or eventual asphyxiation. Hey, you don't know, maybe you can breathe in that light. Development of a manned portable electronic package capable of surviving the launch process as well as interplanetary communication is ongoing. SB-1276 was discovered by a team of Mexican archaeologists and came to the Foundation attention following its accidental activation. What does this button do? Beam me up, Scotty. Resulting in the deaths of 3 civilian team members, the surviving archaeologists were detained by a responding Foundation containment team. A partial translation of platform inscription, indecipherable, offered to indecipherable upon this victorious day. That indecipherable of the sky, indecipherable may return in time, indecipherable. So, I love the launch pad though, like, makes me think of the Octane launch pad from Apex, but instead of just a simple, like, couple meters of jumping, just straight into the sky. Okay, let me just do this. Open it up again. Maybe now I can see the message. Okay. Ribaba. Okay, the next one is called, when I get my fucking here we go. Thirsty cactus. Aren't cactus all technically thirsty because they absorb liquid? Safe. SCP-1277 is to be contained in Arboreal Containment Unit 41-B at Site 77. Oh yeah, hold on a minute. Okay. Never mind. Personnel assigned to care for SCP-1277 are to be issued sound dampening headgear. This headgear is to be worn at all times while in SCP-1277's presence. -1 is to be monitored via the use of a closed circuit surveillance system located in Containment Unit 41B. Any jumps made by -1 to be logged by security personnel. SCP-1277 is an adult Carnegie gigantea, commonly known as a saguaro cactus. SCP-1277 has a height of 3.7 meters. That's a tall cactus, and weighs approximately 37 kilo. How is it this light? How is it like? How is it all like? How is it like? Almost 3 times my size, but it's half my weight. How? Who has the same level of maintenance and care as normal Carnegie gigantea. -1 is a male human skeleton. Is he thirsty? Is the male human skeleton thirsty by any chance? Because you know he's in the desert. He needs a sip of water. He's a little sip of this beautiful. I mean, it's G fuel, but it's still water. He wants a bit of this. Is this what it's all about? Is this what it's all about? Tell me, is this what it's all about? Does he want some water? Huh? Well, he cannot get any of mine. This is my precious water. Relight my fire. 1.4 meters tall and weighing 12 kilograms. Well, yeah, it's skeletons. It does not appear to suffer from degradation due to time or exposure. -1 is constantly located approximately 15 meters away from SCP-1277. Oh, it wants to drink the water from that cactus. Attempts to remove -1 from its spot have met with failure due to -1 materializing itself next to SCP-1277 if it is more than 50 meters away. No, don't take me away from the cactus, bro. I need a bad boy. Look at that sexy giant cactus baby. I could just poke into it and suckle on the cactus nip. Get all the liquid out of it. SCP-1277's anomalous effect will manifest itself anytime at being capable of communicating in American English moves to the point within 15 meters of -1. If this criterion is met, SCP-1277 will begin to emit vocalization. It is unknown how SCP-1277 is able to produce these vocalizations, as they do not have an apparent source of origin. Within the object, vocalization from SCP-1277 consists of pleas to be given water and asking for shelter from the desert, but not from -1. This vocalization will occur whether or not SCP-1277 is in the presence of a desert or water. SCP-1277 will communicate with any person who speaks to it, but will only respond with more inquiries about water and shelter and does not respond to inquiries about its origin or -1. So, the -1, the human being, gets transported into the cactus, like its soul, and it's inside the cactus forever asking for water, because it died out of thirst. -8, Dr. Leipzig. This interview was conducted during SCP-1277's initial containment processing. Can you tell me where you come from? So thirsty. Water. Do you have any water? I'm very thirsty and it's so dry here. I just want some water. We have already provided you with water. Can you please tell us more about your origin? I don't have any water. Where did you put it? I think it may have dried up from the heat. Can I come in with you? It's so dry out here. I'm sure I can answer your questions if we went in. We are currently indoors, SCP-1277. Where do you think we are located? Hot, dry. It seems to stretch out for miles and miles. And no matter how far I crawl, the sun never ever goes down. And I'm very thirsty. Can I please rest for a minute? The heat's getting to me. Please hold on, I have more questions. SCP-1277 did not respond to further questioning and the interview was ended early. Yeah, I think it's basically the soul of the human skeleton got transported into the cactus forever suffering of heat and thirst. Which is honestly cruel. That's pretty cruel. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I feel like being thirsty hurts a lot more than being hungry. Even though being hungry is a lot more like intense in telling you that you're hungry, being thirsty feels, personally for me, a lot more painful. Oh, we're doing some digging Minecraft style? Okay. Picture frame. Oh, wait. SB-178 is to be contained in a standard medium security storage lock at site due to the potential of... I need to change that now that I think about it. Like, the beeps should be where other stuff is. Even though it makes sense to have this and this where all this stuff is. I want to keep it where all my this shit is, you know, where I can change all this stuff, so I don't have to constantly switch back and forth. SB-1278 is to be contained in a standard medium security storage. Yep. The potential for misuses access is restricted to level 3 personnel or higher. Any level 3 personnel wishing to access SB-1278 for research purposes may generate a password at any site terminal that will grant access to SB-1278. Please note that the password will expire after 24 hours. Use of SB-1278 for any purposes other than research is forbidden. Testing with underwater photographs or photographs taken of objects that are located outside of Earth's atmosphere is forbidden. After test 2 and 4. SB-1278 is a photo frame, 36 centimeters in length and 30 centimeters in height. The object... Shut up. The object is composed of a pinewood frame, painted gold with a glass cover and a cardboard backing. A stainless steel latch can be found on all 4 edges of the cardboard backing. Opening the latches allows access to the interior of SB-1278. Also present on the back is a cardboard leg attached to a stainless steel hinge to allow the frame to rest upright on the flat surface and a hook on the top and left side of the object, allowing it to be hung on the wall in both portraits and landscape orientation. No information regarding who manufactured SB-1278 or when or where it was made is present on the object, but manufacturing methods and materials used, as well as tests of composition and the paint, indicates that it was built between sometime between 19 and 2000. SB-1278 unusual properties manifest when a photograph or piece of two-dimensional art of no larger than 25 times 20 centimeters is inserted into the object. The image will briefly shimmer and waves will be seen radiating from the center of the image. Visually similar to ripples on the surface of a pond. After a period of between 1 to 3 minutes, the frame will function as a two-way portal between the two locations. Removing the rear of SB-1278 allows the image to be removed, at which point the portal closes. The other end of the window appears as a 36 times 30 centimeters rectangle, apparently two-dimensional, with one side acting as a portal of the location of the object and the other being jet black, absorbing all frequencies of electromagnetic radiation. Any object small enough to fit through SB-1278 may be passed through from either side. Gases and electromagnetic radiation of the frequency are also affected, and researchers should take care to avoid opening portals to localization inhospitable to human life, except under carefully controlled conditions. I want to check something here. Okay, so it did upload, but no response yet. Maybe later. Test logs. Location depicted the exterior of the site. Procedures, photograph inserted into frames, researchers, and dispatched to the location. The test photograph was taken to observe exit. Effects and manifest as normal. Exit of SB1278 observed. Sample not taken as the exit is incorporeal and one side and indestructible on the other. It should be noted that the exit acts as perfect black body and may have research applications. Further testing regarding these proportions awaiting approval from site command. Test 2. Underwater photograph taken in Dr. Personal Aquarium. Photograph inserted into a frame as normal. Effects manifest as normal. Contents of aquarium immediately spill out of the floor of the test chamber. Cleanup crew dispatched to test chamber. Testing moved to test chamber 14. Test 3. Location depicted exterior of side. Photograph taken with a 20 times telescopic zoom. Procedures for photograph inserted into frame. Research team dispatched to location photo was taken. Effect manifest as normal. Exit of SB1278 not found at location photo was taken. Portal found 15 meters from site. Photographs taken 30 meters from site. So this thing accounts for zoom. I've got an idea, Doctor. Sometimes I just think the SB doctors will sound like John Grab when he's like, I got an idea! Just like way too excited, you know what I mean? Location depicted photograph taken by Hubble Space Telescope depicting the Horsehead Nebula. Zoom on, why would you do that? If you're gonna open up a portal to another fucking planet, who knows what you accidentally cause? Zoom unknown. D245. Hey, it's our first D class in quite some time now, I think about it. It's been a while since we had any D classes. Instructed to insert the photograph into SB1278 and evacuate the test chamber. Result, effect manifests as normal but takes significantly longer. Exact time unknown as the test was not timed. Atmosphere of test chamber immediately escapes through portal into the deep space. The lens of the camera recording the test exploded due to the pressure differential. Audio records a brief rush of air before going silent. Like a seniors in the chamber record increases level of microwave and gamma radiation as well as beta particles. Researcher outfitted with space normally used in research of SB in the test chamber to remove the photograph. Yeah. At least nothing got destroyed or killed, you know. You just got now radiation from a different planet on your planet. Test 5. Location depicted a pencil sketch of New York City skyline. Photograph inserted into frame as normal. SB1278 effects manifested. However, it did not display a current sketch of New York City. Rather, the sketch began to play a 24-hour loop consisting of a typical day in New York City as depicted in the sketch, including a day-night cycle. Oh, okay. Interesting. Test 6. Location depicted none. A reproduction of Salvador Dali. The persistence of memory was used for the test. Oh. D246 instructed to place a print in the frame and wait for further instructions. Upon manifestation of the effect, D46 instructed to crawl through the frame. D46 was chosen due to an exceptionally small frame allowing him to easily enter SB1278. SB1278 effects manifested normally. D46 enters his frame without difficulty and is asked to report what she observes. Claims she is standing on a three-dimensional plane that resembles the painting. When asked to describe areas not visible in the original work, D46 describes a landscape consistent with that depicted in the persistence of memory. D46 recovered without incident. Frame mounted for 24 hours. The only animation observed was 24-hour day-night cycle. And last test. Location depicted none. A reproduction of MC Escher relatively was used for test. Procedures. D46 instructed to place the print in the frame and wait for instructions upon manifestation of effect. D46 instructed to crawl through the frame as in test 1278 test 5. The result D46 is data redacted by order of O5 command. Testing on any works of art depicting non-Euclidean geometry in any form now requires anomalous approval from side command or a 2/3 majority vote for O5 command. Okay. And we're at the last one. Let me just check. I got some texts here. Let's see what she says here. Hey, I'm so sorry. Somebody just followed me. Spicy Guy TV. Hey, welcome to the Fluff. We're near the end of the stream because we have only one more SCP to read, and I'm just going to quickly go and answer my friend here. Thanks for the follow, my friend. I appreciate it. The Afro's with you. People dogs. People? Like, are we talking about furries? Just, oh, well. I don't know what I expected, but I did not expect a cool guy like this. Alright, save. Each instance of SCP-1279 is to be contained in a reinforced steel containing storage unit of Site 87. The Battle of 87. 2 security officers are to guard these instances at all times. No canines are to be brought within a meter of any SCP-1279 instances unless specifically authorized. Any testing involving SCP-1279 must be authorized by at least one member of Level 3 personnel. Seabass, hey! Thanks for the raid, brother. More. Why are you all raiding now? I'm near the end. I really appreciate the raid, guys. What's up, gamer? Hello, is the fish raid. Yeah, thanks, guys. Oh wait, the text is white. I need to figure out why sometimes it's white and sometimes it's black. Like, it's supposed to be black forever on this one, and black and white forever the other one, but it never sticks. Let me just change that real quick. Yeah, we're near the end of the stream, my friends. But I do appreciate the raid a lot. Welcome to the Fluff, the Afro's with you. How about the SCPs? There were some wild ones. I'm gonna give you some minor, like, oh, yeah, it's the last SCP that we read today, People Dogs. But once we reach the end, and I have the list of SCPs in the rated of how much I enjoy them, I will give you a short synopsis of how the SCPs were, because there were some wild ones in there. But look at them. Or her. We don't know. Each instance of SCP-1... Yeah, we already read that part. 2 security officers are to be guarded. Whoa, the chief... the chief just came right up there. 2 security officers are to guard these instances at all times. No canines will be brought within a meter of any SCP-1279 instances unless specifically authorized. Any testing involving SCP-1279 must be authorized by at least one member of Level 3 personnel. Love the classes. Yeah, I mean, this one is safe, so we can hug him. We can hug this one. Maybe. Who knows? Let's see what it does. SCP-1279 is the collective term for 6-letter dog collars. Okay. A tag reading dog ink, dog process color, is present on each instance of SCP-1279. No anomalous physical properties are present in SCP-1279 instances, and the anomalous properties do not become apparent until an SCP-1279 instance is worn by any form of canine. Any canine wearing an instance of SCP-1279, hereafter referred to as -1, will be perceived by any individuals who encounter it as being of human-level intelligence. It doesn't really sound like an SCP thing. There are some people out there that would look at a dog and be like, that dog's smarter than me. And some dogs are. Some dogs will outsmart you. They will still be aware that -1 is in fact a canine, but they will internally anthropomorphize -1, believing that it is capable of speech and reasoning. Okay, maybe that's beyond. That's beyond for sure. Footnote: different individuals affected by SCP-1279's anomalous properties will perceive -1 as saying different things. I just imagine you're just walking with your friends on the park, just having a casual stroll, and then you see a dog, and one of you just out of nowhere is like, just goes to the dog and be like, so how's your day been? You've been busy at home, busy at work? Yeah, you doing good? How's the kids? And then you're like just looking at him like, that's a dog. That's a dog. What are you doing? And the guy's like, hey, don't insult him. He's a hard-working individual trying to earn some cash in this trying time. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. You don't understand the hard work this little guy is going through. And it's like, I'm not sure if he's crazy or if he's just a bit too into talking to dogs. Individuals will not consider encountering what they believe is a sapient canine to be abnormal and will behave as if it were a common occurrence. This perception of anthropomorphic qualities will often result in individuals feeding Dash-1 meals intended for humans and occasionally cloning them in garments intended for humans. Subjects typically cite Dash-1's lack of modesty as a reason for doing this. That might go horribly wrong if you're going to give a dog chocolate. Oh shit. See image. Removal of SB1279 from Dash-1 result in affected individuals once again perceiving Dash-1 as a normal canine. That also must be weird. Like, you just take the canine off and it's like, oh, who's a cute little puppy? And then somebody puts the canine back on. The collar. The collar back on. And it's like, who's a cute little puppy? Who's the collar back on? It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to touch you like that. Like, I'm sorry. I should have asked. I should have asked for consent. And I don't know what came over me. You were just very fluffy, and I guess I don't know. And then you take the collar off. It's like, who's a good little dog? Interview Dash-1. Dr. Matthews, Dr. Gregson. One instance of Dash-1. Hank was present at the interview. After the interview, both Dr. Matthews and Dr. Gregson recorded their respective perception of what had been said. This was an effort to demonstrate the effect that Dash-1 instances have on the way they are perceived. Okay, I gotta give three different voices. It looks like it. So I'm gonna give Dr. Matthews a hello, and Dr. Gregson a hi, and Dash-1 the dog. Hello, doctor. How are you? I'm fine. What? I said I'm fine. I was talking to Hank. Oh, I didn't hear him. Sorry. I said I was sorry, Hank. I don't think Hank minds, Tom. No, it's fine. Honestly. No need to fly off the handle, Hank. Good one. How long has it been? 50 seconds. About a minute, give or take. Yes, I'm sure. God, this is gonna be weird. Well, I think that should be all we need, to be honest. Yes, that sounds fine. It's fine, Hank. We can just do it again if it's not enough. And now, her perspective. Hello. Hi. Hello. Man, this is fucking my brain. I'm fine. What? I said I'm fine. I was talking to Hank. Oh, I didn't hear. I'm sorry. Well, you should have been listening then, shouldn't you, idiot? I said I was sorry, Hank. I don't think Hank minds, Tom. How did you even get this job? Isn't your job to pay attention? No need to fly off the handle, Hank. Good one. How long has it been? God only knows. God, kill me now. About a minute, give or take. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Well, I think that should be all we need, to be honest. That doesn't seem long enough for proper research, does it? It's fine, Hank. We can just do it again if it's not enough. I suppose. I don't know why I imagine a corgi, the most fluffiest, cutest corgi with a deep, bassy voice called Hank. You just see like the corgi like, but then you just hear like yeah, coffee. Give me some coffee, make it black, like my men. End interview. SCP-1279 was discovered after reports of talking dog What we see from an anonymous informant. When the agents arrived at the location and recovered the instance of -1, he had been arrested by a police officer for public indecency, referring to the Canaan lack of clothing. Several instances of SB-1279 were found scattered in the surrounding area, along with the following note. They got people think they're nude because they don't have clothes on. Now your dog too can be now your dog too can be a member of the household. Are you ever sick of your dog anti-working for its pay and food upkeep? Well, worry no more, loyal consumer. Our new dog process color will make your dog a fruitful member of society. Society needs upkeeping, loyal, hard-working citizens to feed the fields, ride the office, and keep your streets safe. Perhaps your dog will be firemen, stopping the fires from betraying you and your loyal family, or police officers stopping criminal dogs from destroying the peace of a neighborhood. Not all dogs are good dogs. Perhaps he will be a doctor dog, making open the dogs that have suffered from a terrible mess. Whatever dog's life chose to become is only due to you. Faithful dog owner, purchasing the fine product of Dog Inc. Dog Inc. No squashy canes. And we're done. This was the last SCP that we going to read today. But before we finish, did I even motherfucking do my stopwatch for that last one? I didn't do it. Oh well, that's fine. I will have to figure it out later. I'll fix it in post. Text. Here it is. Alright, and here we go. Here are the SCPs we... Oh god. Hold on a minute. Why is this... There we go. No. Like this. There we... Yeah. Alright. So. We had... Why did I put stock up there? Why was stock that high up again? Stock. Why am I not remembering what stock was about? How dare me? Oh yeah. Stock was pretty messed up. So stock was all about a nightlight that brought back a spirit of a child who was intangible. Well, we're not sure if it's a spirit or if it's just an intangible child who seemed to be stuck in some sort of plane that has nothing. But whenever you summon her, she seems to be very stressed out, paranoid, and wants to go back. And if you ask her what the plane is all like, or the plane looks like, she says she is not allowed to disclose information about it. And at first it was considered safe, but then it became Euclid because she killed somebody by basically fusing with them in some weird way, because it seemed like there was some sort of like malfunction happening. So I put it really high up because it was like one of those SCPs where like you can clearly tell that the SCP itself is not really dangerous unless you push it to that point, and the child itself was of course suffering. But the SCP Foundation was being dickish, and just like, no, we just gonna keep you around until you answer our questions. And clearly she was not comfortable with that. But yeah, so now she is crying in the middle of her room. She even tried to possess the dead body that she accidentally killed to try to open up or slam herself against the door and windows, but nothing worked. And now she's just in the middle of the room in the fetal position. It was just like, the imagery is very sad. It just shows you that the SCP Foundation sometimes will push a bit too far to get results. Kickback Field, Sheckler Elementary. That one was also really interesting. So I didn't grow up with kickball. I did say throughout the reading that Switzerland did not have kickball. I'm not even sure if Europe itself has kickball, to be honest. I'm not sure if there's like a country in Europe that does have that. But it was all about like how every time there's a certain event happening at a specific kickball field, people from around the world will be summoned to that kickball field to play. And if there's one rule not fit, like there's like 16 roles, and if one of them is missing, somebody who's like nearby will take over that role. Like if there's like a person 25 meters away from that field, they will take over that role. And depending on which position you have, that's how your life will be affected. Some people will become politicians, some people will die before they turn 18, some people will become drug addicts, so on and so forth. No matter what you try, your life will go down that route. The best example is with a drug guy. Like, it seems like he played on that kickball field when he was 11, and when he became 12, suddenly everybody around him wanted him to do drugs. Like, his mom and dad decided to do drugs and wanted him to join. His teachers wanted him to do drugs. His therapist wanted him to do drugs, so on and so forth. Like, he just couldn't escape it. And he tried so hard to not do drugs this whole time. And then when he came to the foundation and explained, like, oh, this was happening in my life, and now I'm in college, and I have been avoiding taking drugs my whole entire life. I've been pretty successful. One of the fucking doctors from the SVP Foundation just forced the drugs into him. So basically, that's what happens. Once you play this kickball game, whatever happens to your life, it's guaranteed to happen. Some of it is okay, some of it is bad. Silent Bandit is an orb of liquid that floats around, can pass through the smallest of gaps. Doesn't matter how airtight you think a gap is. If there is a small millimeter of a hole, it will squeeze through it, and it will just take whatever it wants. It will take objects, it will take human beings, it will just absorb it, and then use it as its own tool and weaponry. People dogs, we just read that one. I just think it's very cute. I think it's also a hilarious idea of like putting the collar on and then just people be like, "What the? You're naked? What's wrong with you? Put on clothes. It's there. Now you won't embarrass me. God." Thirsty Cactus, basically a soul of a person that perished from thirst, is now inside a cactus. A big ass cactus, mind you, a 3.7 meters cactus. That's big. I'm not even sure what that's in feet. I'm in feet. I'm 6 feet, which is 183 centimeters, right? I'm 6 feet. So 3.7 meters is so. Yeah, it'll be double. It's double my size, basically. Double my size of a cactus. For 12 feet. That's how tall the cactus is. And it's just, yeah, it's just a soul of a dead thirsty boy. Well, not boy, man. And he wants to have a drink and needs shelter, but even if you give it to drink or give it shelter, it will never know you did. Man with a gun, yeah. If you break into a certain area, or if you just give a certain intrusion into an area, a guy with a shotgun shows up and wants to kill you. It just materializes like, well, I'm here now. It does, and you have to like get a. You can either. The 3 options to dematerialize is either you die, you get fatally injured, or you escape. Man, picture frame. If you put any picture in it into a frame, it creates a portal to wherever that picture was taken. So if you take a picture on the water, it will make a portal from water, and the water will just come out. If you make a portal in space, it will create a vacuum, of course, because it will just suck up all the air, and so on and so forth. It will create a portal to wherever you took the picture from, and you can of course pass through the frame and end up in that area. Venusian launchpad is a pyramid that, when Venus is in a certain position, will create a beam of blue light, and if you stand in that beam of blue light, you will get fucking beamed up into Venus, and most likely die because you will not survive in space, or you will not survive in Venus anyway. Slow motion catastrophe, 4 statues in that area. Whatever happens in that area is in slow motion, and there's a couple. There's a child and a man, kind of like spirits around there, causing the catastrophe. The last one, dance craze. If there's a certain move going around, if you learn about that move, you will be stuck in a dance craze. Like you will dance that dance till you fucking kill over. And that's the SCPs of today. Now, Spicy Guy and Seabass, I really appreciate your raids. Tomorrow we're gonna read the 1280s. It's gonna be at 9 p.m. London time. So Spicy Guy, you were here for the first time. I hope I get to see you tomorrow, and you can like explore these SCPs with me. And Seabass, I hope the same for you, that you will join me. And again, thank you so much for the follow, Spicy Guy. I really appreciate it. And thanks so much for the raid, you guys. Really, really do appreciate that. And for now, I wish you all good morning, afternoon, evening. I hope I see you all tomorrow for some more SCPs for 1280s. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. The Afro was with you. See y'all.